The sky burned first. They arrived in silence, black ships blotting out the stars. The Zon Dominion, ancient and undefeated, entered Earth's orbit with the confidence of a predator approaching docile prey. Spanning hundreds of light years, their empire had crushed dozens of species before. Earth was to be no different, just another resource-rich ball of dirt to be pacified, stripped, and catalogued. At 3:14 Universal Time Coordinated, their ultimatum blared across every screen, signal, and satellite. This world is now property of the Zon Dominion. Surrender immediately. Resistance will be met with planetary cleansing. The message repeated in every human language. It ran for 10 minutes. Then the Zon waited for the kneeling. But Earth didn't kneel. In command bunkers buried deep beneath mountains, generals gave no speeches. Orders were short, brutal, practiced. Execute protocol hellfire. Satellites blinked to life. Missile silos groaned open. Submarines silently adjusted their depths. The Zon didn't realize their mistake until the first barrage of surface-to-orbit missiles punched holes in their formation. Over Nevada, a burning dropship spiraled out of the sky like a falling star. In Moscow, hacked Zon scouts crashed into the frozen Volga. From Tokyo to Johannesburg, Earth had launched not surrender, but war. Zon Fleet Commander Threxin watched his screens explode into chaos. He blinked his vertical pupils and snarled, "Primitive retaliation. Unsustainable. Crush it." But it wasn't primitive. It was coordinated. Predictive. Angry. The humans weren't launching blindly. They were targeting weak points. Intercepting troop ships mid-descent. Jamming communications. Even Earth's civilian networks swarmed with improvised hacking efforts. Children were posting Zon troop positions on social media before the aliens finished landing. Threxin's second-in-command hissed in alarm. They should be panicking, fleeing. But humans didn't flee. Not this time. 1,000 years of war had taught Earth one brutal truth. No one would save them but themselves. In orbit, Earth space agencies, once divided by politics, now moved as one. An old defunct satellite reactivated with stolen alien code, blinding a destroyer's targeting system just long enough for a nuclear-tipped missile to tear it apart. By sunrise, 3 Zon capital ships were gone. Hundreds of landing craft smoldered in wreckage across 5 continents. No one spoke of surrender again. Humanity hadn't won. Not yet. But the tone had shifted. This wasn't prey being cornered. This was a planet fighting like it had nothing left to lose. Final line. They expected a surrender. Instead, they got Earth's opening act. Welcome to hell, invaders. The Zon landed in force. 10 legions descended across Earth's surface, towering war machines, anti-grave tanks, and soldiers in bioarmored exosuits. From orbit, it looked like dominance, precision, absolute control. But Earth wasn't a flat battlefield. It was a labyrinth of noise, weather, concrete, and chaos. And the humans didn't fight like the other species. They didn't line up. They didn't run. They hunted. In New York, Zon infantry advanced through shattered avenues, sensors sweeping for resistance. Their scanners lit up, hundreds of heat signatures, moving fast. The Zon raised weapons. Too late. The street buckled beneath them. So lines, packed with homemade explosives, erupted upward. Fire roared through the columns of advancing soldiers. From the rooftops, human militia opened fire. Not with plasma. With bullets. With firebombs. With hatred. A Zon lieutenant, pinned behind his smoking armor, screamed into his comms. They ambushed from below. Below. They tunneled through their own city. In Sao Paulo, gang leaders became field commanders overnight. They knew every alley, every blind corner. The Zon entered the favelas expecting disorganized mobs. They left in body bags, when there were bodies left to recover. In the Siberian tundra, human special forces deployed in temperatures that froze Zon lubricant systems solid. Snipers, wrapped in camouflage, hunted alien commanders like wolves in the snow. Their first kill came within 6 hours. The next, within 20 minutes. Every region had its own resistance, its own style of warfare, and Earth gave no quarter. The Zon's strength became a weakness. Their weapons relied on clean lines of sight, linked targeting systems, smooth terrain. Cities broke that. Forests shattered it. Jungles devoured it. Deserts cooked it. Earth was a death trap wearing the skin of a planet. One captured Zon technician, bleeding and shaking, muttered through a translator, "This world doesn't fight fair." A UN task force responded with grim satisfaction. There's no such thing as a fair fight when you're trying to survive. By day 3, the Zon stopped advancing. By day 5, they started digging in. They no longer believed they were suppressing a rebellion. They knew they were fighting for their lives. In Kenya, drone footage showed human children carrying ammunition to frontline units. In Paris, a grandmother was caught on video tossing Molotovs from her apartment window. In the Philippines, villagers used fishing boats to ambush a Zon hovercraft with homemade torpedoes. Humanity had no front lines. The whole planet was one. Zon broadcast, once filled with declarations of domination, were now filled with static, panic, and screams. One final fragment of intercepted alien chatter was replayed by resistance groups everywhere. The humans are everywhere. Every shadow, every echo. This planet is cursed. Final line. They came to conquer Earth. But by the 5th day, even the conquerors were praying to leave. War is what we do. The Zon were used to enemies breaking. They'd conquered species that built civilizations over millennia, only to watch them shatter in days. But humans didn't shatter. They evolved. And once humanity got past the shock of invasion, it did what it had always done in times of fire. It got mean. No more retreats. No more hiding. Earth turned the war around. In the scorched ruins of Berlin, a joint human task force launched the first successful assault on a grounded Zon command post. They didn't have superior weapons. They had speed, strategy, and fury. Explosives wired into saw grates. Drones made from 3D printed parts. Riot gear turned combat armor. It wasn't high-tech. It was effective. By the time the Zon realized the attack wasn't random, their command node was in flames. That wasn't a fluke. That was the new pattern. In Alaska, a U.S. Black Ops unit infiltrated an alien refueling site using thermal masking cloaks and rubber boots to avoid detection. They carried no radios, no electronics, just blades, garrots, and one EMP grenade. The base went dark. The Zon guards never saw their killers. Surveillance captured the last few seconds, blood on white snow and a human carving a skull into the side of an alien tank. Across the Pacific, Chinese engineers hacked into a downed alien wrecking craft. In 48 hours, they'd reverse-engineered its navigation matrix. In 72, they sent it home, loaded with a nuclear device. The explosion lit up low orbit like a second sun. But it wasn't just tactics. It was mindset. Zon troops began reporting strange behavior. Humans fought while bleeding. They strapped explosives to their chests and ran into firing lines. They mimicked alien battle cries to sow confusion. One Zon platoon surrendered after encountering what they thought was a berserker unit. It was just a medic with a machete and no quit. Alien morale plummeted. Commanders whispered of death cult tactics. Officers questioned the wisdom of invasion. And still, the humans came. In a darkened bunker beneath Tokyo, a global resistance AI named Wraith activated. It hijacked Zon frequencies and began broadcasting taunts in their own language. You invaded a world built on war. Did you think we forgot how to fight? The broadcasts weren't just noise. They included false orders, corrupted data, and deepfakes of Zon officers ordering retreat. The confusion sparked friendly fire. The fear sparked desertion. Even Zon High Command couldn't explain what was happening anymore. In a desperate meeting aboard the Wrath of Dominion, one commander choked out. We thought they were prey, but they've studied war longer than we've existed. Final line. Earth wasn't resisting anymore. It was hunting, and the hunters were just getting started. The retreat wasn't fast enough. The order to retreat came too late. By the time the Zon High Command transmitted the recall signal, half their invasion fleet was gone. The other half was scattered, wounded, or under siege. Earth's skies, once a theater of dominance, had become a graveyard of drifting alien wreckage. Above the Pacific, the Wrath of Dominion, the Zon's flagship, turned to flee. It never made it past low orbit. A kinetic railgun, assembled from decommissioned space station parts and powered by salvaged fusion cells, fired from a platform hidden in Earth's shadow. The slug hit mid-hull, splitting the warship open like an egg. Thousands of tons of alien alloy rained into the sea. On Earth, cheers erupted across resistance channels. The humans weren't waiting for peace. They were eradicating. In the Nevada desert, captured Zon weapons had been modified and mounted on stealth aircraft. Dogfights erupted in the stratosphere. One by one, fleeing ships fell. Not because they couldn't outrun humanity, because they were outmaneuvered, jammed, and ambushed. Outside Jakarta, a Zon extraction team tried to secure a landing zone for evacuation. They were met by Indonesian commandos and tribal fighters working in unison. There was no battle cry, no mercy. There were no survivors. Back in orbit, surviving Zon vessels tried to cloak, to scatter, to jump away. It didn't matter. Humanity had learned it too quickly, had adapted too much. Every trick the Zon had brought, Earth had stolen, copied, weaponized. Even now, hackers fed fake telemetry into alien systems, leading ships into ambushes or back into Earth's gravity well. In one final transmission, a Zon captain screamed, "Do not send reinforcements. Do not answer distress calls. This planet is death." Then silence. The invasion was over. On the ground, humanity didn't celebrate. Not yet. Soldiers kept fighting. Engineers kept building. Scientists kept harvesting alien tech. Because Earth wasn't just recovering, it was preparing. In Geneva, world leaders met not to rebuild, but to discuss retaliation. In classified facilities, reverse-engineered star drives were being welded onto makeshift hulls. Earth had just fought off an empire. And Earth had questions. How many others had the Zon destroyed? How many worlds had fallen, kneeling when Earth stood? Humanity didn't just want victory. It wanted justice. In orbit, wreckage drifted, silent testimony to a species the Zon had never understood. They thought Earth would break. Instead, it ignited. Final line. The Zon came to dominate a planet. They left warning the stars. Do not awaken Earth. Do not challenge humanity. They do not fight wars. They become them.